In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, verse 18, because you have, here's the word, because you have done what? What's it say? Because you have obeyed my voice. We love him because he made it possible for us to love him. He loved us. We worship him not because of the great and mighty things he's done, but because of who he is. Your life can be in the pit. He's worthy of our worship. And therefore, because of who he is, we obey him. And when we obey him, we are recipients of the same thing that God said to Abraham and his children and their children's children. And that is, he will give us multitudes of blessings because of obedience. Parents, are you teaching your kids to love God? Parents, are you teaching your kids that worshiping God is a priority in your home? And it is something worth doing together, not just in this building. And parents, are you teaching your kids sometimes the price involved with obeying God? That it may look like it's going to hurt. It may look like it doesn't make sense. It may look like you're going to come up short if I obey God. Listen to me. You will never outgive God. You'll never outlove him. You'll never outserve him. You'll never outgrace anything that God has graced upon you. You cannot outdo an eternal God with anything. There isn't anyone who will ever do anything to you that is of greater harm than what you and I have done to God. And yet he's chosen to forgive us. How can we not forgive one another? Are you teaching your kids these things? These are called the foundations of a parent. Let's pray. And God, we do bow before you today, and we, as parents, we long to be the kind of parent that would love you the way that you deserve to be loved, and that we would demonstrate that love by being obedient. We desire to worship you the best that we possibly can on this earth, in these bodies, in this spirit that we have here today, to worship you for who you are. And to not wait until we get good news to then bow on our knees and worship you. But that when we get bad news, that we get on our knees and we worship you. When we get a bad report from the doctor, that we get on our knees and worship you. When we have to face heart surgery, as one of our dear ladies back with us today from a recent surgery is able to be with us, that we still worship you. Or when, as one of our members who's with us today finds out they have lung cancer, that we're still able to worship you because of who you are. Lord, these are not so good circumstances. These are circumstances that are tough to go through. But God, I thank you that you're the God who's mighty to save, that you're the God who is greater than all these things. I thank you that you're the God that's promised us that one day there'll be no death, there'll be no sorrow, there'll be no tears, there'll be no pain, that all things will be brand new, and that these bodies that doctors are operating on today in this time, all that'll be gone. I thank you for doctors and nurses who help us in our times of need. But God, I praise you that because of who you are, you've made it already a reality that one day, the day is coming. It's a promised day of a new Jerusalem coming down from heaven. There's a promised day of a new body that's going to be united with our spirit. There's a promised day when we will be with you in glory for eternity. And we do not know when that's going to be, but we thank you that it's already promised to us as an inheritance given to your children. Today, Lord, I pray that parents in this room, if they're parents of small children or parents of parents, I pray that today would be a day when we just reevaluate the foundation of this thing called parenting, and that you would make the adjustments made. God, you are able to raise up the home and change the foundation and set it back down better than it was before. That's what we're asking you to do today. You're not a God who divides, you're a God who unifies, and we're asking you to raise up our homes and pull out from underneath us the foundations that have been built on work, and the foundations that have been built on success in man's eyes and money and all the things that man would tell us would be the foundation of a parent. And I pray that as you lift up the homes in this room, literally lift them up, that you would replace, take away that which is wrong and capable of causing a house to crumble. And that you would replace it with the love that we're supposed to have for you. And that you would replace it with the worship that we're supposed to give to you. That you would replace it with parents who are going to be obedient to you. At times when it costs them doing things that are their own personal pleasures, may we see that as greater priority than anything we would ever do that would fill our schedule. God, we love you. As you rest those homes back down on a new foundation, may we go from this place that all those little boys and girls that are back in Explorers Ministry this morning would then have a mom and dad who love them, who teach them about Jesus, and are going to lead them in the ways of righteousness because of their obedience.
How firm a foundation, ye saints of the Lord, is laid for your faith in his excellent word. What more can he say than to you he had said? To you who for refuge to Jesus have fled.